lighthouse keeper. Silas swore the sea whispered secrets only the dead could understand. He'd told me this, his eyes like chipped flint, as we sat in the cramped, oil-smelling lantern room. Outside, the storm raged, a symphony of howling wind and crashing waves that rattled the very bones of the tower. They say the sea claims what's hers, he rasped, his voice a dry, rustling sound. And she remembers, especially here at Black Rock Point. Black Rock Point was infamous. Ships vanished here, swallowed whole by the treacherous currents and jagged reefs. Locals whispered of a monstrous creature, a leviathan with eyes like burning coals, that lurked beneath the waves. Silas, however, spoke of something far more insidious. "It ain't no beast," he'd said, his gaze fixed on the swirling darkness beyond the glass. "It's the silence, the empty space left behind when the sea takes a soul." He told me of the first keeper, a man named Elias Thorne, who'd gone mad after a particularly violent storm. Thorne had claimed he could hear the drowned sailors, their voices a faint, mournful chorus carried on the wind. He'd climbed the tower, screaming their names, before leaping into the churning abyss below. Silas paused, taking a long, wheezing breath. They say his voice still echoes on nights like this, a whisper in the wind, calling to the living. The storm intensified. The lighthouse, a lonely sentinel against the tempest, groaned and swayed. The wind shrieked, a high-pitched, almost human wail. I shivered, despite the heat radiating from the lantern. Silas's grip tightened on my arm. His eyes, wide and terrified, were fixed on the darkness beyond the glass. "Listen," he whispered, his voice trembling. "They're calling." The light flickered again, and in that brief, strobe-like flash, I saw it, a shape, shifting and indistinct, moving in the black water beyond the window. It wasn't a beast, but something, formless, a dark, swirling mass that seemed to absorb the very light around it. Then, a voice thin and reedy, like the sigh of a dying man, drifted up from the depths. It wasn't loud, but it cut through the storm like a knife, a chilling whisper that seemed to crawl into my very soul. "Come, join us, Elias, Elias." The name echoed in my ears, a chilling, mournful lament. The light died completely. We were plunged into absolute darkness. The only sound, the raging storm and the faint, echoing whisper that seemed to emanate from the very depths of the sea. Then I felt it, a cold, clammy hand grasping my ankle. I screamed, and Silas screamed with me. The tower swayed violently, and the sound of shattering glass filled the air. I felt myself being pulled, dragged towards the open doorway, towards the swirling darkness below. The last thing I saw, before the darkness consumed me, was Silas's face illuminated by the brief flash of lightning. His eyes were wide with terror,